It's been so hard with so many around. You know I don't like being stuck in the ground, but the streets don't change, well, maybe the name. I ain't got time for the game, 'cause I need you. Yeah, yeah, well, I need you. If you sing to the Palo Santo, it will. Maybe it will allow me to cleanse these cards for you today. Okay? Before we get started on our little midday reading. Happy 12/12. It's also summer solstice, so longest day of the year. Enjoy that sunlight, right? I have totally been enjoying that. Where I live at, it's been, the heat breaks in the evenings, so it's been quite pleasant to sit outside at night. Um, I am gonna use the Grateful Dead Tarot deck today, which also it follows the Rider Waite, FYI. If anybody is watching, it doesn't say that just on this piece, but it does in the manual. Okay. As you guys know, I also use my Spirit Halloween that also follows the Rider Waite. Okay. In terms of the 78 cards, it's a true tarot deck. Okay. So anyway, that's kind of the message that I'm going to get going today. There's been some other things, happy birthday to one of my friends that had her birthday this week, and congrats to one of my friends that made it through her surgery without any complications. Yes, love that. Lovers, we love that, don't we? I don't care who you are, anytime you're going to surgery and have to use anesthesia, you are taking a risk, right? So if you make it through that without any complications, that is super exciting news to me. Because a lot of folks do elective surgeries these days, Surgery, yes, can be very safe, but it is still a risk. So just, one of those things. I can't even imagine flying to another country to have cosmetic procedures done, but I know people do it. I've heard the stories. But safety and cleanliness, all very important. And that was another part of the message that was coming through. Also about cleansing your space. So you can see I have my incense going here. I also have some Palo Santo and some, I think this is white sage, happens to be going in this bowl here to help. I feel like that could be important for some of you. I know spring cleaning is a thing, but Queen of Pentacles here, taking care of the home, making sure the home is in order, okay? And to your liking. All right. Maybe you did get rid of some things in spring cleaning and now it's time to organize what's left, right? It's like I went through and put everything into piles and now here's the piles that I have left and now it's time to make those piles look pretty, okay? So I feel like for a lot of you collective that could be something on your summer to-do list, okay? And especially since it is the summer solstice and, what that represents for us. Six of Swords. I think I'm going to do a chakra style reading for you guys today here. Maybe. I haven't done a Celtic cross lately. Maybe I'll do a cross here. Mm-hmm. Knight of Swords. Okay. So you could have been working on some of this by yourself a little bit, collective. I feel like some of this organization, getting things to how you want them to be, all right? Some people have wanted to discuss this with you and say well, I don't think you should really do it that way. And I don't think, and you're just kind of well, it's already done, okay? I already... You know what I mean? I already ordered the drapes. I already, hired the guys to come install the shades, right? You're not worried about, getting so much input, maybe in places where you used to, or maybe in places where you felt like you needed to. And I think that that's part of the Six of Swords here, that's showing the separation that you were able to achieve. Okay. And then, make some decisions clearly. But you can see the full moon is coming up as well. So this may be directly tied to the full moon as well, but it is, today on the solstice. So, and yesterday was Juneteenth. So happy Juneteenth. Um, so if you spam the chat though, I will have to take action, right? So, it's nothing personal. It's just, please do be respectful in the chat and, treat others as you would like to be treated. Isn't that what we're all trying to do out here, collective? The golden rule, it's popular for a reason, right? Catching on at churches near you, right? And the fun thing about that is you don't even need to be in church to understand it, do you? No, you sure don't. You sure don't. Okay. Wow. Ace of Cups in your foundation. I'm so happy I decided to do this Celtic Cross. I was kind of getting that vibe here, which I don't normally do with this deck, just because it's kind of special to me. Anyway, collective, I feel like you've been putting your foot down, like you haven't been rushing around trying to figure, again, like you might be, just kind of like, yeah, like, look, I made this sale for my boat and everybody's been turned the other way, right? And you're like, well, I guess they don't care, but I'm still gonna go sailing, right? Like it's not gonna, it's not gonna stop you from sailing. Right? And now it's like all the people that didn't take a chance on you, right? But they can see it's like, oh, snap. Like they already made a move. Like, ooh, what can I do now? Now I gotta add some flash. And it's like, and you're kind of putting your foot down. You're like, I have a better idea. I'm gonna sit here and meditate and chill and enjoy the solstice and enjoy it for the celebration that it is, right? Okay. You know what I'm saying? This is also Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. All right. So, sorry, I'm kind of trying to follow in the chat a little bit, but not really because I want to make sure to focus on the message. But since I don't have any moderators, I will get rid of folks if I spot something and have to take action. Okay. In the recent history now. So what was leading up to this situation? Somebody putting you in an ultimatum, perhaps? Yeah, we know how we like those, right? Whenever anyone says anything that's similar to my way or the highway, it's always like, well, I guess it's the highway. Right? Because it's just like, I don't have time to bother with that. Wow, Ace of Wands. So this has been something that's not only been driving you, but others towards you as well. People that want to work with you, people that want to love on you, people that want to date you, right? And again, you're like, well, you may want to date me, but can you compete with what I have created for myself in this foundation right here? Protected with this little, tortoise shell here and holding this rose, enjoying the love, the gifts of the universe, right? They say love is fleeting. A rose does not last forever. They make those forever roses now, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, you understand the point I'm trying to make. So for a lot of you, all of this energy, again, this is Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. If you have that in your chart, it may be significant for you, okay? You might need to look up your chart as well, okay? So I feel like, collective, it's like you kind of brought all this flash to the party, and there were people, I'm just hearing that, I'll figure out later. It's not a song that I know the name to immediately. It's been like used in commercials and stuff. Anyway, it's kind of like, yeah, you brought all those flash to the party, and like again, nobody was noticing, but yet they're like, oh, I guess, it's like on that show Survivor, right? Like you got done with your stuff first, and now you know, you're like, oh wait, she's already in the water. Well, yeah, isn't that the point? Isn't that the point? And there's going to be people trying to argue with you about that. Again, it's like you were not granted this, power for nothing, right? You're like, hey, I wanted to go sailing. I went sailing and I'm very content on that, right? Okay. you know, it's and I think maybe related to the solstice as well is there's always something simple about summer, right? That I think people enjoy. It's like it is being able to enjoy the sunshine. It is being able to feel a breeze. It is being able to, just witness nature, see the birds flying around. You know what I mean? It's just a time of being where you are not necessarily you know proving yourself. It's almost like, it's like, is this what it's like in the Garden of Eden type thing, you know what I mean? And I feel like for a lot of you collective in your heart, you have created that kind of Eden for yourself, okay? And saying, I'm loving on me right now, right? And I don't need anybody else's permission to do that. In fact, that's part of what I was put here to do. And when I do love on myself, then look at the buildup, look at the power, look at, the creative force that, and passion that comes forward in this collective ready to bust out at any moment. And in fact, not only that, break away and lead ahead of the pack. Okay. So what does Ricky Bobby say? If you're not ahead, you're behind, right? And all these people on the beach, they're behind. They're behind. Okay. I was watching the Olympic trials last night, and it was one of those long distance swimming things, and the girl was like a whole like pool length ahead. It's a very lonely place to be, but she stayed on her pace, right? Okay. Yeah, it's like, oh, they're closing in, they're closing in. Yeah, but boop, I mean, like the moon's already there. Like we already see who the winner is going to be, but it's maintaining that. So if for some reason there's been some uncertainty or something, excuse me, if for some reason there's been some uncertainty or something, I feel like letting go of that maybe with this full moon might be something that you're signaled to do. Yeah, 7 of Wands. So, and that may even mean you know it's not that you don't want to ask for help, but you're just okay with your status quo. That doesn't mean other people have to be okay with it. Again, it's like it's not their party. They weren't invited. They don't really get to have an opinion. Okay. I mean, it's sure, in inherent nature of human beings, we all have a bunghole and we all have opinions, right? And was it Beavis or Butthead that so eloquently said that he needed TP for his bunghole? I can't remember which one. Okay. So again, these are not matters that you need to concern yourself because you're like, in fact, I got, like this white one here, that's my TP. I already got it from the store. And this over here, I'm working on, I got this going on. You know what I mean? You're just you're unbothered. Very, again, this is like the simple pleasures, finding the joy, seeing a kid ride by on their bicycle. You know what I mean? Seeing your annoying neighbor trip, not fall, but trip maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe get a chuckle out of it. Okay. Okay. Again, don't overcomplicate this stuff. And that's part of what this Nine of Swords wants out of the situation. And what are they going to say? Oh, Oh, I never realized how awesome you were. Oh, I was such a fool. Oh, I was this. Oh, I was that. And it's just like, yeah. I don't know if that message is gonna work though on your boat phone, right? Like, you know how it is, collective. You get out some of these locations and you don't have cell service, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And maybe that's for a good reason. Because what's Slick Rick got to say here, right? With his dice, right? Okay? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Oh, mercy. Okay. This full moon has been a little wonky. So, you know. Love from Shania. I have actually been to Shania. Hi, Shania. Formerly Madras, right? Yes, I was there in, I want to say like 2005. Okay. So just FYI, I have been to your enormous city full of people. I've never seen so many people in my entire life. It was quite a feeling. Do you know what I'm saying? And like we went to the mall there. We went to is it Mahalapuram? I can never say it right. And we also went down to Pondicherry while we were there. I was there for like 3 weeks, so I got to experience a little bit of the culture while I was working over there. Anyway, I just wanted to say hello to the folks there from Chennai. MD in dermatology. You know what? Good for you, because I just had to have a mole removed here, and it got tested. It came back as benign, and they actually removed another one on my thigh as well. And both of them, that one was asymmetrical, but he said it was nothing of concern. The Hierophant here, looking forward. Well, there are some valuable lessons that are going to get doled out. However, that doesn't mean that you stop learning, right? It's just maybe, what you were surrounded by, collective, was not the level that you needed to be surrounded by. You needed to be surrounded by a different level. And once you started taking care of yourself, that started working. That started working for you, okay? So, for some of you, I feel like this is not just about those lessons that you've learned of honoring yourself, but also it's going to be about potentially partnering with somebody, because the Hierophant is also often the marriage card, and the energy is very kind of clean that's coming through here and balanced. So I feel like for some of you, that is a definite possibility. There could be somebody, potentially an air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, who sees again that you are ready for this type of position. However, this particular person, I feel like it's kind of like that too little too late. Like you may have already met somebody, you may be actively dating, you may be, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like you're in that prime position, okay? And that's because you've been capitalizing on your creative strengths here, right? Not what everybody else wanted for you, which was quite frankly just to stay on the beach and do nothing, right? Have you ever been, like I this is kind of a funny story. Like I went with some folks one time to a it was like a community pool, and like nobody was getting in the water. And it's like, you guys aren't gonna swim. It was like really hot, I was like, I'm getting in the water, right? And somebody's gonna realize here, it's like, oh, I guess I should have gotten in the water with the collective, because now, what I mean? And it's like here, it's like this summer solstice. It's like that day, that longest day of the year. It's like, how many days, how many hours, how many minutes does it take for them to realize, right? And you're done proving it, right? And that's why you're already in the water. You already proved it to yourself, and you did it out of a place of self-love. Okay, so whatever that goal is for you, you know, like for whoever is studying in the chat, like maybe your goal is finishing school, and you are going to have that higher knowledge, but that might just be one chapter in your overall book. Okay, So I feel like that's a very strong thing with the collective as well, is that we're always learning, and you don't necessarily have to revisit, um, but you can if it's a good memory, right? And that some of that is kind of like, you know, yeah, maybe you're not doing your studies right now. So maybe it's okay to, sit and chill with your family or with your dog or your cat or whoever, or just yourself and your belly button, right? And say, this is a pretty good day, right? I got some things done. I fed myself, my house is still standing, and I'm gonna get outside and enjoy nature. You know what I mean? Like, just living simply. Okay. Four of Pentacles. So you are feeling stable, collective. You may not be feeling the abundance that you feel. Yeah, there's definitely some anxiety around you. This, I feel like, is part of this full moon that's coming through. I did a full moon. I've done a couple of readings now this week, more regarding full moon energy. So, if for some reason this full moon seems to be affecting you more than normal, again, just it's just going to be another day, right? Like, did you feel like this yesterday, or is this just today, right? And it's like you have to think about these patterns, right? Is it a pattern? Is it a reoccurrence? Like, what is it? But if something does keep cropping up, is it because what? Maybe that's where you do need to separate yourself from all this excitement and activity that's always here with the Knight of Swords, right? And in this case, almost looks a little bit more like nefarious activity. Okay, so collective, most of you, I would assume, that are watching know that you do not want to be involved in nefarious activities. Maybe some people around you are, and that's just not a part of who you are. So maybe you have to separate yourselves from them in that way. Okay, that may be causing you some anxiety, like, and you could say, like, yeah, this is part of your stability. You could say, like, these are people I've always known, like, this is the person that's going to stand up in a fight with me, or you know what I mean, like those kind of loyalty tests, I'll say. But the thing is, collective, what I'm seeing here is that you've achieved this without the peanut gallery chiming in. Okay. This message is being held for review. See, this is what happens every time. I don't know why, but there's always somebody, right? And that's what you should not get worried about, to be honest, because it's just part of it is part of life, right? And don't think you need to blow it out of proportion like what this smoking gun kind of wants. It's like they want to see you reloading, they want to see you doing this, they want to see you doing that, and you're like you're like, calm down, sugar tits, because I've been there and I've done that, and here's all my wands that I carefully crafted already. So you might want to look up your Jupiter sign and check that out. That may be significant for you as well. Considering it's the biggest planet and this is the longest day of the year, think of things that expand beyond your reach. The Seven of Wands is a very busy card, but it's here in the crown chakra, like you can handle it, but not handling it in a way that it's going to be burdensome. Okay? I think you're enjoying this, to be honest. All right? Woo-wee. There they are. In the hopes and fears. Yes, the devil always wants us to question our goals, question the gifts of the universe, question the things that we should be doing that make us happy. right? And bring success to our lives. Okay. Yeah, exactly. But what they don't know about the collective, right? What they, say you are a Capricorn. What they don't know about the collective is like we get it done. Okay? I've rarely met a Capricorn that doesn't get it done. So it's just kind of that. It's like, look, you're already out here, you're already sailing, and now it's like these people, here's the peanut gallery, and they're trying to put all this fear in you, saying, what if your sail rips? What if there's a hole in it? What if your boat sinks? What if your crew members get sick? What if you run out of food? Okay. And yes, I guess those are all possibilities, aren't they? What if you have a great time? What if you get back safely? What if you catch some fish along the way? You have yourself a nice dinner. Okay, I'm just saying, Ten of Pentacles wanted to pop out. All right. There's always going to be somebody there to say, of all the things that can go wrong, but think about all the things that can go right. Yes? That doesn't mean we go into things with our eyes closed, does it? No, we do not. No, we do not. I'll repeat it again. No, we do not. All right? So anybody that thinks they can fool you into believing that they've been by your side this entire time in this whole journey, yeah, I literally just heard crickets. That's a sign. Okay? Okay. Now, can they sit there and say, you know what? You've done a lot. And you can say, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay? Again, you're hearing crickets as well because these are the people that wanted that fear, okay? And yet here you are, sailing, da-na-na-na, right? Christopher Cross, okay? What's in the outcome, please, that this collective needs to know? Doorway. This is Sagittarius, the Temperance card. Patience. You guys, at the very beginning of the video, what was I singing? Can't make this up. I was singing that song, Patience, by Guns N' Roses. By the way, I charged up my car AC this time and I used the correct refrigerant and I think it worked. Okay? And I think I followed the instructions safely. So definitely check your underneath the hood of your vehicle. It should tell you which kind of refrigerant you need. Okay? So make sure you do that. And for anybody local, I got my more expensive stuff at Menards. It was like $40 less than everywhere else. So, and it seems to be working. So, pro tip, okay? Yeah, I'm getting that Aerosmith, like, Take Me to the Other Side song. Loving you has got to be. Take me to the other side. I know there's a Chili Pepper song called Other Side, but it was Aerosmith. Take me to the other side. Okay. I promise you, there was a time when Aerosmith is cool. If you're thinking, like, who is that? We can't all be the hip, the hop, the hibbit, hop. But you know what? They were one of the first ones that did a collaboration with a hip hop group, Run DMC. You know, like, walk this way, talk this way, walk this way, talk this way. Okay? Just give me a kiss, he says, right? Kiss of the devil. I'm just saying. Yeah, watch some of these people, man. They be sneaking in here and like, oh yeah, remember when we did this, this, and this? It's like, you mean remember when you watched me do that on Facebook? Is that what you're talking about? Okay, like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm glad that you're enjoying it, but like, the type of shared experience that you're experiencing is not what you think it is, right? So, you know, again, stay grounded, collective. Taurus energy as well here. So we have Sagittarius, Taurus, Capricorn, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, the fire signs again as well with that Ace of Wands. Cougar, assertive. Ooh, somebody a single cougar out there. I don't know what the age is for a cougar. I always thought it was like 40, but like there's people that like think they're a cougar in their 30s. I mean, if that's what gets you going, hey, I'm not going to say nothing about it. In silence, I love it. In silence, you find power. No cell service. They can't hear you from the boat, but yet they can all see you out there succeeding, can't they? Boom shakalaka. Claim your leadership role and take action. You know where to go and what to do. You have the courage and the confidence to succeed. And look at this, like, sun here again on the solstice today. Wonderful, wonderful message leading into the full moon tomorrow. No wonder the full moon is so like extra jazz, you guys, because today is the solstice and the full moon is tomorrow. It's like, hey, I'm going to give you maximum sun exposure and then blast you with a cool moon. And honestly, typically, I like viewing the full moon like the night before. I always feel like it looks better. But, that's just my subjective opinion. So if there's any astronomers out there that have a strong opinion on that, you know what I mean? Let us know, right? Butterfly rebirth. You can reinvent yourself. Open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with this world. Love every part of your journey. Yeah, so again, this is some of this knowledge, like I said, that's going to be getting passed. Some of these lessons are going to be getting passed on, right? But that doesn't mean that you stop learning. You are just going into a new phase of your life. And for some of you, that could be a partnership, a marriage, like the beginning of a family. All right. And talk about needing to have patience when you are like dealing with other people. Am I right? Okay. All right. Yeah. Is it worth the prison time? Is it? Anyway. Yeah, I feel like this is supposed to be a monarch on here. I did see the question mark kind of butterfly the other day. I mentioned that in one of my other readings again. This is the kind of stuff I talk about, you guys. So don't be afraid of tarot. I think a lot of people have this expectation that it's like a lot of gloom and doom. And, sometimes the energy is wonky, but part of our job as readers is to kind of transmute that energy into something that can be processed and understood by the collective. Okay, so then that you can do with that information what you need to do and use your own discernment and make good, healthy choices when you're doing that. That's why the channel is called Manifest Wisely. Think about what you want. Think about what you're doing. If you stay up worried every night after night after night, is that going to get you what you want? Probably not. Probably not. Okay. So check your own environment, right? Again, that could be cleansing. That could be, I got like 2, 3 cardboard boxes sitting here just in my kitchen. Okay. Do they need to be here? Probably not. Taking up space. Doing nothing for nobody right now. Okay. But one day there'll be a paper plate for some kid. Okay. Right. Like, go on, live your next phase. Right. Okay. That's what we're talking about here. We're getting into it now. One more. Ew, well, look at that. Just pop it on out. You guys, I saw this video of this woman. She was videotaping her daughter-in-law twerking. She must have been like at a dance audition or something, but it was like most supportive mother-in-law ever. And she was staying there, like sitting there, like, well, she was sitting there, like had her phone up, but like was, but the twerking was part. I know it's not everybody's move, but it's part of modern dance right now. So anyway. Grizzly bear power. I am indestructible. I honor my intuition and go where it leads. Love and gentleness are my real strength. Remember Gentle Ben, right? From Grizzly Adams, you guys? Remember? If you don't, look it up. I'm a Gen Xer, okay? Through and through. So these are the pop culture references that I feel that you deserve to know about, all right? This was some good stuff, okay? I never give up. I will succeed. Very interesting, considering Grizzly Adams was an outlaw running from the law, right? You guys, sometimes I have too much fun doing these readings. And part of the reason why is because it's like, this is what we start out with, right? In our environment, like some of this anxiety, some of this, what's this energy? What's this energy today? We're going to find out. We're going to find out, right? And now it's like, oh, is this all? Is this all? Just some same old naysayers sitting on the beach, not doing a damn thing with themselves except getting skin cancer. Okay. And you're like, well, I'm getting skin cancer and I'm sailing. I don't wish skin cancer on anyone. Okay. Remember to get your moles checked, get your yearly checkup, right? With that. I am over my time, but I haven't pulled all the cards that I want to yet today, you guys. So since it's solstice, I guess we're going long. We're long in the tooth today. Is that how they say it? Or are we just surrendering to the madness? I have not used these meditation cards in a minute, these oracle cards for y'all. So let's see what's going on. Again, simple things like meditation that can be beneficial. And like literally just sitting outside, not looking at your phone outside, just sitting outside. If you have to, like, light a candle, look at the flame, just look at it, just sit there, give yourself some time. All right. We are not meant for our brains and our neurons to be occupied by all these artificial stimuli. Okay. 24/7. That's not how we were made. All right. That's why nature is so important. That's why grounding is so important. Excuse me. I'm hiccuping because I haven't really eaten yet. I don't like to eat because then it like makes me sleepy for a while. And if I have like things to do, you know what I mean? Initiation. Yes. This may be when you start getting some of these messages. This may be something that you've started to realize here in your recent past. Like, some people have a hard time, like, what is my purpose? What am I meant to be doing? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, here you go. And like for those of you that are, finishing up school or in school or, this higher knowledge, this is your confirmation. You're on the right path, right? Now me, I changed my major a few times, but I did graduate with my BS, and then I went back and got my MBA as well. And now I'm in my tarot reading phase. Okay. I've always been kind of intuitive, you guys. I've been asked that before, and I've actually asked some of my family members about that, and there's been some that have said, like, well, like they just knew, like, they were supposed to go and do something, or they just knew, like there was just they just had a knowing, okay, like some kind of clairvoyance, okay. So this could be part of this initiation for you, especially if this is because when it starts happening, it's like, what the hell is this? Okay. And sometimes spirit is knocking at the door quite loudly. All right. Almost, yeah. That whole thing. I hear you knocking, and you're like, but you can't come in, right? But the time, it's like, actually, part in here. This is the perfect illustration, you guys. The reason it's coming in now is because you are away from all this artificial stimuli that's kept you from what you're meant to be doing. Okay, so you might be out here on your little sailboat, and then it's like, zoop. And maybe that's just part of the message, is that you're supposed to be sailing. Okay, I'm not saying that it's additional, it can be. It depends on what your message and your download is going to be. It's going to be different for everybody, you guys. Okay, that's why you have to take some of these readings with a grain of salt, like, because not every piece of the message belongs to every piece of the collective. Okay, just like our astrological charts are comprised of 12 signs. It's just we have heightened aspects, right? We have placements in certain houses and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not an astrology expert, but I do highly recommend that you look up your chart. Look up both Western and Vedic, okay? If you wanna get your mind blown, look up both of your charts, see how it interacts with each other, and see how you have been so far in your life and been like, is this what I'm doing, or is this what I'm doing? Is this what I'm doing? Is this what I'm doing? Maybe it won't make sense to you, but for a lot of people it does. Okay, so dream work. Life is but a dream. I feel like, yeah. And where are you doing your rowing your boat? Making the dream work. You had a dream, you saw it. So this clairvoyance, okay? So yeah, the clairs, like personally, I have some like clairvoyance. Mine is a little bit different than what I'm reading about right now. But so like when I see something, like I will literally see like details. I will see like a painted picture in my mind, okay? And that is like the manifestation, right? That I'm thinking in my mind, right? For some people, they don't necessarily know exactly what it looks like, but they know it's coming. That's also a clairvoyance, right? And some of that comes through in our dreams, in our subconscious, okay? And then when we wake up, it's like, wow, and then sometimes it's like, wow, that really stuck with me. Why did that stick with you? Okay, maybe that was how the message was supposed to be initiated to you. All right. Whereas somebody else, like myself, I might just see a vision. Okay, and I'm like, okay, right? And that could be part of your clairs, tapping into that, okay? There's clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, okay? There's a lot of clairs, all right? Have you ever smelled something and you're like, that smell reminds me of like my grandpa's cigar or something? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if your grandpa smoked or not. Like, that's just coming through. It's those kinds of things, all right? Which, by the way, my incense went out. I don't know where my actual holder is. I've had so many of those holders over the years, you guys, and it's like, why? But we improvise, don't we? Don't we? Like I said, Capricorn getting it done. So Capricorn, I know y'all, boy, in the tarot world. But yes, awakening to the fact that you're like, that's not me, right? And that's like what you have to realize too, collective. It's like, yeah, you could have, I mean, there could be karmic people watching this reading and be like all triggered and be like, ugh, well, that's not me. And I don't do, okay, get it. Number one, maybe it's just not your reading. Maybe it's just not the channel for you. Or number two, maybe you are a little bit triggered about something, right? And I feel like collective, you're awakening to things that you're actually supposed to be triggered by, right? That's part of the initiation as well. For some of you, part of this initiation may be something to do with your hands. You could be a healer of some sort. Somebody that's meant to work with their hands. It's coming through very strongly. Very strongly. Okay. That you could have Sagittarius in your chart as well. Okay. And as always, remember to be grateful for the gifts that we are given, right? It's going to help guide us through our day. And last but not least, I am going to pull some Moonology. I think we can get this done under an hour. What do you think, guys? Please, if you are in the chat today, like the video, especially if you've been participating in the chat, help spread the energy and the messages around, and do consider subscribing to the channel as well. That helps pass the messages around to those who need them. So if you benefited from this message today, please consider doing one of those two things or both. And if you would like to be notified of future videos, please do hit the notification bell, and then you will be notified by a push notification to your device. All right, what else do we need to know? This full moon, the solstice day of 2024 in the summertime, when that living is easy, right? Conclusions are within reach. Oh my gosh, you guys, I think my phone is starting to die. I forgot I was low on my battery power. So, yeah, full moon here. So again, if you've been uncertain, I feel like you're going to get it. You're really going to get it. A fiery climax approaches. Yeah. The moon's going to be full in more than one way. This also is kind of by the Cougar card here, so for whoever you are, have fun, right? Be safe, right? Nobody said you can't have fun, but like be safe about it, right? Like, again, don't just hop into the sack with anybody doing the devil's bidding for him. That's part of why this card is in the tarot. It's like, don't do the devil's bidding for him. He has to earn that shit on his own. And remember what he's earning? It's shit. Okay. Can communication is key. So yeah, if that's not you, collective, right? You need to be manifesting something quite different, right? And you quite do have the power to do it as well here with this grizzly bear. Remember, you're indestructible. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it here before the phone dies out. You are good enough. Happy solstice. Happy solstice. Happy full moon. And enjoy. Okay? Bye bye. Manifest wisely until next time.